Hi, my name's George Howard, at Words That Create. If you haven't yet followed my Instagram, I have reels and posts on there. I'm posting 5 days a week on there, so there are things for you to see at Words That Create. Let's talk about self-confidence and exuding natural confidence into the world. I feel like it's a really important thing for us because we just have more fun in life when we feel confident. It allows us to be more free to be ourselves, to take ourselves less seriously, and to make new friends and to have great interactions with anyone, anywhere. We're not as tense, we're not as held back in our expression, we're willing to try new things, we have less pressure on ourselves. We also become more creative and more willing to create and go toward opportunities. And with self-confidence, we have trust in ourselves. So when we do embark on a new challenge or a new journey, we trust ourselves to progress, so we can progress, maybe faster. Yeah, it does feel really good to have confidence. And I now have confidence, and natural confidence. It's not natural, it feels a natural confidence. And I really didn't have that when I was growing up. As a teenager especially, I was very low confidence, low self-esteem. There were so many things that I didn't understand about myself, that I didn't allow, and I held myself back in so many ways. So nowadays, to feel confident and to feel socially free and to be able to meet people whenever I go and speak to people and just have a great time, have fun, it feels really, really great. Yeah. So here we are making a video about this. Let me just look at my notes. Yeah, so the aim isn't to be confident 100% of the time. It's okay if our confidence gets knocked from time to time. Life is like that. It can really throw us in any direction. And sometimes something happens in our lives that really does make us feel less than we are. And that's okay. Sometimes we doubt ourselves as well, right? We doubt our abilities. We doubt that our feelings, our emotions. We doubt our desires. We doubt that we are capable. So these things happen. But of course, what we want is consistent self-confidence. Confidence that's there most of the time, that allows us to live our lives in a fun, nourishing, fulfilling way. There are a few ways to create and allow confidence, because I feel that confidence isn't something we can try and have. As I said, it sometimes can be knocked out of our control. When we try to control our confidence, we're creating attention and anxiety. We can't be relaxed. Confidence is about letting go of constricting ideas about ourselves, such as we can't feel fear, we can't make mistakes, we can't be seen as silly or foolish in front of anyone, we can't make mistakes in front of anyone. We have to have pressure on ourselves to perform constantly. We have to be good enough at something straight away without progression. We have to say the right things to the right people. We have to be seen and heard a certain way. We can't be vulnerable with others because they will ridicule us or make us feel horrible about ourselves. So all these ideas are very restrictive and very destructive to our confidence. So when we let go of the idea that we can't feel fear and nervousness, we can be with that feeling. Sometimes we may be in the world with other people, we may be in a cafe or a pub or a restaurant or a shop, and we feel this anxiety, this feeling like, oh, I'm kind of nervous about being here. There's something, I don't know, there's just an energy in my body. And we could judge that and be like, no, I shouldn't be feeling this feeling. I shouldn't be feeling it. And the energy builds and builds. And we go up to the cashier, we go up to the person behind the bar, and we're like, ooh. And we just feel like we're hiding something, like we shouldn't be feeling that, and they're not feeling anything. And you know what I mean? But if we had that same feeling, just like, oh, today I'm feeling a bit of anxiety. I don't know whether it's the feeling in the room. I don't know whether it's just like I'm tired or I'm hungry or just not feeling that strong in myself today. If we accept that, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm feeling that. That's okay. Everyone feels these kind of feelings. And that is my current reality. Then you can let go of this pressure of feeling good all the time. And then you can just be yourself. Someone could ask how you are, and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling a little bit anxious today. Feeling a little bit nervous about life. There's no particular reason why, but yeah, I just feel a little bit scared. And then the opposite goes as well, right? Just being open about how we're feeling any day, even if we're feeling really, really good. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling so great today. Just feeling so confident. I'm just wanting to be out in the world with people. It's just so good. So a big part of that is validating ourselves. Because often we're looking for validation from others. We're looking for people to say, we're great, we have what it takes, we're capable, we're confident, we're lovable, we're anything. So I've talked about in a previous video, and you can go watch that afterward if you would like, about affirmations. When we affirm ourselves, when we declare to the world and to ourselves that we are anything that we want to be. So some of mine are, I am enough as I am creative, I am powerful, I am beautiful. These are I am statements that remind me of who I am and remind me of who I want to be in the world. And when I repeat these things, and I repeat these statements, they become embedded in my subconscious over time. So when I walk the earth, I become those things. I become powerful, I become beautiful, I become creative, I become enough as I am. And that exudes from me. That's that confidence. Affirming who you are validates yourself. And you can do this in other ways too, being grateful for yourself, being proud of yourself. Like I did a workout this morning, and afterward I remembered to say to myself, I'm proud of you for doing that. That wasn't easy, that was hard. And you stuck through it, you did it. That makes me feel good. I don't need anyone else to say that to me. As soon as I say it to myself, I'm validated. I'm proud of myself, I feel good in myself. We have to be able to allow ourselves to be vulnerable in the world, to be open, an open person. We're often trying to hide so much about ourselves because we fear ridicule. In the past, we've had people, like at school, bullies, people that undermine us and make us feel horrible about ourselves. So we close off more and more. But when you begin to validate yourself and when you begin to love yourself, you can start to be completely open with people in the world. You can tell them all your deepest secrets about yourself and how you're feeling, and you still feel good about yourself. And also, with self-love, you'll often surround yourself with the right people anyway. You won't just be around people that would bully you. A self-loving person, of course, does not allow that. So you'll have more people around you that you trust to be open with. Even the strangers, the people you meet in the street, are more aligned with who you are, and they're able to listen and hear you and see you. So allowing yourself to be seen and heard is super important in having confidence in yourself. It's letting people see the worst of you, and the best of you. It's not trying to be something you're not. It's just being you in whatever form that may take, ever-changing George. Honestly, allowing myself to be vulnerable and allowing myself to be authentic in the world was the best thing I ever began practicing doing. It changed my life completely. It allowed so much more beauty into my life. And my relationship now with my wife would not be possible without that transformation from closed off George to open George. I wouldn't have a beautiful daughter. It's mind-blowing. So another big part of this is aligning yourself with your values. When you spend time doing things that you really love and care about, when you try those things that you really actually want to try, when you live by your values, you stop doing the things that make you feel not as good as you want to feel. We want experiences in our lives. We want to align our days with things that make us feel great and make us feel great about ourselves. When we surround ourselves with people that aren't aligned with us, when we go to places that aren't aligned with us, when we continually do those things, we're blocking ourselves from what we really desire, what we really want to have around us and create. And when we do that, obviously we're in scenarios and with people that don't make us feel as good as we want to be. So when you do that, even if you're validating yourself and you're loving yourself, you're still getting all this outside influence of people that are making you feel less than you are. So align yourself with what you really care about. Be with the people that you really care about and care about you, and your life will be much more nourishing for your confidence. This is a cool one. The mistakes you make and the failures that happen to you, or that happen, the mistakes you make and your failures aren't about your core enoughness. So I've talked about this in a previous video as well, about being enough, but when you make mistakes, when you do something embarrassing, or when you fail, it doesn't make you less lovable, less worthy and deserving of a lovely, beautiful life. They are external things that you're trying to create. You were born enough as you are, and that's your core enoughness. That can't be changed by any doing or anything that you don't do. Yes, you have to try be good enough at something to get good at it, but that's external. Internal enoughness is always there. That's not going anywhere. The things you do outside of yourselves have nothing to do with your enoughness. It's a big distinction to make, and it frees you up from having pressure on yourself to perform to make yourself enough in the eyes of others and yourself. And then, last of all, the giving mindset in social interactions. This was a big one for me, to get out of my own head and into the person in front of me or the people in front of me, becoming more of a listener, becoming more of an observer, becoming more curious about the person or people in front of me. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you get into their world, you try to understand them, you try to listen deeply, you get curious about them, you compliment the way they look and the way they make you feel, then you're taking that self-consciousness away, and your consciousness is going out into the world. So like, you can dress up, you can look good, you can feel good, and then you just let it go. And you go out into the world, and your focus is into other people. Every interaction you have is in the other's world. Of course, you can talk about yourself. Of course, you can be listened to. But it's more about, I'm just trying to encourage you to have more of a giving mindset in your interactions, rather than worrying about what you look like, what you sound like, whether you're saying the right things. Become curious about them, become interested about them, compliment them, make them feel great in your presence, be present with them, and straight away you're no longer self-conscious. All these things take practice, sure, but most of them, like I say, are letting go. They're practices of letting go of the pressure on yourself, of being and trying to be enough, of trying to be perfect with people, and of holding back, of closing off, letting go of those things. The more open you can be, the more you can allow yourself to be vulnerable. The more you give, the more you affirm and validate yourself, the more natural confidence you will exude, and your life will become enhanced in so many ways. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. These are things that I've learned over many years of trial and error, and finally coming to a place in my life where 98% of the time I feel consistently self-confident. And it's great. It's a great feeling. So you've got this. You have what it takes. Much love.